Hi, my name's Alyssa, and I'm here today with South Dundas Recreation for your second episode of the Discovery Lab. Today, we're going to be doing two different science experiments. So our first experiment is going to be elephant toothpaste, and our second experiment is going to be a lava lamp. Now, before we get started, I just wanted to remind you that when we're doing science at home, you want to make sure that you have a parent, a grandparent, or an older sibling home with you so that they are there to help. You also want to make sure that you have on your appropriate safety gear. So I'm going to put on my safety goggles. And for today's experiment, I'm also going to put on some gloves. Perfect. Now I'm ready to go. So our first experiment, our elephant toothpaste experiment, you're going to need a baking sheet or a tray. You're going to need a plastic bottle. You're going to need some hydrogen peroxide, some dish soap, some food coloring, yeast, and warm water. Now let's get started with that elephant toothpaste. Let's figure out what that is. So I'm going to take 2 tablespoons of warm water and I'm going to put it into another bowl. I then am going to take a teaspoon of yeast and put it in that bowl with the water. I'm going to take a spoon and I'm going to mix that all together. So I'm trying to dissolve my yeast into my water. So I'm just going to speed this up here. Perfect. Now that looks about right. Not all the pieces are dissolved, but pretty much. I'm going to put that to the side and I'm going to get started with my bottle. So for my bottle, I'm going to need 1/4 cup of hydrogen peroxide. So the measuring cup I have here is, half a cup. Measuring cup I have here is 1/4 cup. So I need 2 of those. I'm going to use my funnel just to make sure that it goes right inside my bottle. Oopsies. And a second one to make my 1/2 cup. Perfect. Now I'm gonna just add in just a touch more just because my bottle's a little taller. So I just wanted to add a touch more. Now I'm gonna put in some food coloring. And a few drops of dish soap. Perfect. Now we're about to find out what is elephant toothpaste. So I'm going to take my yeast and water mixture again. And I'm also going to take my funnel and I'm going to pour my mixture into my bottle. And here comes our toothpaste. Whoa! That's really cool. So, you're probably wondering, how does this happen? When our hydrogen peroxide is mixed together with our yeast speeds up the production of gas. When we mix our dish soap in with that, it causes the gas to turn into foam when it hits the soap, causing it to come out of the top of our bottle and create a foam. Now, if you touch your bottle, it's probably a little bit warm, and that's just because of the chemical reaction. Now, this foam, what's left here is we have some water, we have some oxygen, and some soap. So this foam is completely safe to touch and to play with. So that can make a pretty fun activity playing with this foam when we're all done. But that's our elephant toothpaste experiment, and that's really cool. Now let's make a lava lamp. So again, you're going to need another plastic bottle. You're going to need some oil, some water, and some Alka-Seltzers. So you're going to fill up your bottle about 3/4 of the way full with your oil. Now, if you don't have a bottle, you could also use a vase. You could use a water bottle. It doesn't have to be the size of the bottle that I have. Almost there. Perfect. Now I'm going to fill up the rest of my bottle with some water. I don't want to fill it all the way to the top, so I want to leave a little bit out, but the rest is going to be water. Perfect. Now you can see all these pretty cool bubbles that are going on here. We're going to take some food coloring, and you're going to put some drops of food coloring into your lava lamp. And you're going to see the bubbles go all the way down. Now, if you look at your bottle, you have your oil at the top, and the water and the food coloring drops to the bottom. And that's because your oil and water, they don't mix together, they separate. So we have our bubbles, we have lots of bubbles, we have our food coloring at the bottom, our oil at the top. Now we're gonna add in our Alka-Seltzers, and this is where the lava lamp comes in. So I'm gonna break that in half just so it fits in, and it goes. And here goes our experiment. And now you've created your very own lava lamp. Now this happens because our oil doesn't mix with our water. So because our food coloring mixes with our water, our Alka-Seltzer causes our water to fizz and bubble. And because the oil and the water don't mix together, the bubbles float around in the oil, making it look like a lava lamp. And you can add another seltzer whenever it stops to sizzle. And there you have, made today, elephant toothpaste, and you've also made a lava lamp. I hope you had fun, and I'll see you next week on the Discovery Lab.